Yeah, so Leo, we're continuing. Sorry about that. We'll just make it a part two. So yeah, back to lust and back to strength. Leo, this is your card. So basically, there's a source of manifestation that you were trying to bring in the 3D, yet it sort of turned your divine feminine off a bit. It may be the possibility that the divine feminine in the twin flame connection might be a bit more elevated, I want to say. And this sort of movement towards fusion might have also flipped that elevation to a negative by triggering emotional trauma connected to the root chakra. Okay, so sexual sort of drives that were triggered and not dealt with, therefore have to be through separation or through a running effect taken away. Okay. Also, there's been a sense of joy. Let's focus more on the positive joy in the connection. Three of Cups is always about things that are fulfilling on an emotional level. There is certainly an emotional connection between you and your twin, and there might have been the triggering effect with the emotional content within the sexual act. Okay. So these emotions are, yes, fun, but also maybe quite damaging to your twin if they're not ready to connect on a basic level. Okay, they may be even lost in their head. Possibly, your twin might be Aquarius, Libra, or Gemini, as seen before with the Ten of Swords. Um, Therefore, not so much, they're more logical about their approach to things. They may not have as much emotion depending on the complexion of the chart. The Three of Cups is indicative of Pisces energy as well as Scorpio and Cancer. So these three signs are essentially all about emotional content, but with the three, we also have a potential for third-party situations. There might have been other connections within the dynamic that were triggering in a way, and you might have served as a temptation to learn new forms of emotional enlightenment for them. But at the same time triggering something karmic with this other connection. Just a potential. Also, there is the Aeon here, which is an interesting card. It's 10, 10, or 20, okay? But 10, 10 is also an 11. It plays the 2, it's like 11, 2 energy here, numerologically. And we have multiple deities in this, and essentially it shows the growth of a sort of age. Okay, this is the card of Aquarius. This is the card of humanity taking that next step into like manifestation of the 5D and the expansive nature of the universe, the cosmos. There's a connection here that this is the ultimate sort of goal that you and your twin are trying to reach at. It started off as basic, there's an emotional connection, but it's not enough to reach the etheric plane, okay? And it could have been through this form of rejection that was had here, a boundary that did not allow you, Leo, to express yourself on the physical level, to consummate some sort of transformation into the divine light and the cosmos here, represented in blue. From the transformation, it's like a red shift from red to blue here. That was not fully consummated. I mean, yes, it might have, but it also might have triggered, like I said, the running away, or potentially moving towards a third party situation, in the hope for some sort of, communion. Let's face it, there are twin flames, and the ones that run are teaching in a way, in a karmic way, others to deal with their shit as well. Teaching themselves and others. So it's not about jealousy here. It's about really sort of going out and doing good for humanity. At the same time, there might have been a sort of possessive quality over you and your lover, Leo, that wasn't really addressed. but not so much. I think it's more for the sort of running and chasing dynamic is more for the embetterment and the joy of mankind through an emotional content. There might have been not enough emotion within the card of lust to trigger a sort of cosmic breach or cosmic ascension. Okay. Um, that's for some of you Leos. At the same time, for the Leos where you're actually in union right now, then it is completely joyful. The sex is good. There is complete sort of union with masculine, feminine, and the supreme. Okay. Also, there is a growth, an expansive growth between masculine and feminine, where the feminine is sort of really being worshipped here as the progenitor, the bringer of everything on the etheric plane. Notice, yeah, the spirit there is way bigger than Osiris or whoever that is in the Egyptian background, but they're still on their thrones. This is like the emperor and the empress, but the empress is like way expanded, or at the same time can be magician energy, and overplayed by the counterpart, the high priestess, who knows all and is sort of etheric and quiet about it. Yeah, fair play. All right, I'm going to give you 2 cards on the base after I shuffle that have to deal with how to move towards union on the base, and then I'll give you 2 cards on the ascension, ascension part, 2 cards and 2 cards. So union on the bottom as a foundation, and ascension, which, of course. Oh, interesting. Ace of Swords. That's good. Ace of Swords is good. New ideas, new philosophies. Yeah, no swords have come out yet. All right. Here we go. Interesting. Yeah, no reversals this time. Okay. These 2 cards, the 8 of Cups and the Lovers card here. Okay. What I see here is that there is essentially a deep and profound, deep 8th house sort of love that is really causing a lot of doubt, of insecurity, of the profound, the sublime nature that encompasses you and your lover here. There certainly is a divine union on the basis of your twin flame connection, and it goes deeper and deeper than you would think. This is also a card that relates to Scorpio, so transformation and dealing with sort of the 5 of Cups energy, plus on the top of it, deep heartbreak, 3 of Cups. Okay, so there's a lot of regret, a lot of pain, heartbreak that's forcing you into this connection as a foundation for the twin flame dynamic. So essentially, you're working through all these freaking cups that comes from the 7 of Cups to the 8 of Cups and dealing with it. You're so close to the 9 of Cups, which is essentially wish fulfillment, which is what both of you want, to recognize and completely fuse with the mirror of your twin flame. Okay, fairly interesting. Also, so like I said, Scorpio, this is also Gemini. There might be a Gemini in the situation. I mentioned the 3 sort of air signs. Gemini might have a high propensity also. There's a propensity for Scorpio more than other signs, I would say, because of the darkness of this dynamic. Also potentially Cancerian quality or Piscean quality. So if we open it up to those 2 astrological traits, there's also a lot of armoring going on, or deep all-consuming sort of depth destruction and sort of reconfiguration on an emotional level. It seems to me that the emotions here are definitely a big part of your connection as twin flames, as lovers. Okay, lovers that are essentially childlike in nature, also divine masculine, feminine. This is emperor and empress energy that are being watched over by the guides and the gods. Okay, so Cupid's over here with his arrow, as well as Venus and or rather Adam and Eve on the left and right here. And there's also an interesting flipping of as you'll see here. So you see the divine masculine feminine in royalty here, and then they are flipped. Okay, so there are children here, yes, but they're flipped. These are the inner children. Okay, so the person here and the person here are flip. There's a flipping. So like there's an inner child in each of you that is being addressed and being made peace with. They're shaking hands here. Try to pay attention to gender roles within your connection with this Scorpio, with this Cancer or Pisces, with this Gemini potentially. Leo, so please pay attention to your twin being a reflection of the inner child that was essentially not in peace and trying to make peace with the depth and the sort of deep dark night of the soul energy that's here, okay? Excuse me. Okay, so Leo, mid-June, let's go ahead and finish off this part 2. 2 more cards. How to lead to ascension. What to be mindful of when leading to ascension. Okay, we have the Four of Pentacles there. There could be walls up. There could be some difficulty with ideas of old ways of doing things. Yeah, Four of Pentacles again. Every time I see Four of Pentacles, I think of Friend Fortress, all right? I think of, there it is again. Yeah, I think of creating sort of a idealized sort of home. This is coming home, okay? This is the path to home. I'm gonna go ahead and leave this as a major sort of influence here. Above the Lovers and between the Three of Cups and Lust. Home. This is Capricorn energy. This is all about structuring a pathway to some sort of protected fortress of all the different elements. Okay, this is a place resistant to any forces, and it's made to be a sort of example for it's like an architectural example for how it should be done, okay? How it should be done. And you have to realize that this structuring is an illusion, okay? This world-like 3D sort of representation is an illusion of your actual idea of home, which is within your twin, and it's the fusion of the souls that totally liberates you from any previous structures that you thought. This can be structures of the mind, structures of the heart, structures of ways of loving. You know, it's all about reinventing new ways of loving. And as a Leo, you should know how to be innovative and be totally creative, at least on the material representation. I think out of all the fire signs, Leos tend to be quite materialistic people, which is not a bad thing. It's good to represent those drives and those motivations that are deeply linked to the self. But what I'm saying is that if you can deconstruct yourself and deconstruct aspects about the perfection, you know, and the image and the icon, you will be able to essentially use this as a stepping stone for true liberation, which is what the journey is all about. Okay, 2 more cards here. How do we get to ascension? I see. Yes. Okay, so we have the Tower and the 10 of Pentacles here as modes of ascension. There's something here about this running and following, chasing dynamic that happened in an essential Tower moment, okay? Something happened with your relationship or potentially with a third party where they're dealing with some crazy shit and their third eye is opening up as fuck. This is all about spiritual reconstruction on the ruins of the material world in which we thought were, in a way, good for us, but also they had very karmic foundations, okay? And they had to be broken down. And the third eye is opening up as fuck. There's Kundalini energy here. There's the idea of well, this bird, I'm not sure what kind of bird this is, but essentially something ominous. It looks like a crow or some sort of pigeon. And that is indicative of something like given to us by guides. Okay, so there's the guides, there's Kundalini energy here, the Naga, and there's the all-seeing eye that's like really radiating with this. It's like this was coming for sure. All this crazy fire energy, you might, Leo, you might have created or triggered some of this to make their tower fall, this tower fall. Um, Fairly interesting, but now they're scared of that energy that you have and are running. Okay, that's what I see. Also, the Ten of Pentacles is interesting, some sort of completion. Okay, maybe there is a need to finish off a cycle in this relationship, or perhaps an end goal in which a complete satisfaction comes from its manifestation in the in the 3D. Okay, so basically, Leo, I want to say and leave you off with this message. It's important for you to let the foundations of the material world crumble and to initiate this. And if there's anything about yourself and your ego that needs to reflect this integration, I would recommend letting it happen. So this is all about being open and being able to be reinventive. And I'm not going to preach any more than that. And to try to ground it in some sort of worldly way, you know, making the coins work in your favor to flip according to the way it should land, which is, of course, divinely sort of inspired. And to recognize that the connection you two share are bringing up some deep, welling, emotional effects that are going to teach you and your twin something about the beauty of emotional content. It might have been really hard. Someone might have really opened up about what they really feel about the connection, how much love there is to give, and it might have scared someone away because of emotional trauma that was like essentially tied to childhood. So these structures that are implemented here, I mean, this entire tarot reading is based on structures that are going to collapse. Okay, and I think that'll be the title. Okay, Leo, thank you so much for watching. Please like, subscribe, share, and what have you. And have a wonderful and hopefully purposeful next few weeks. Thank you.